Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello, Amajo. How are you?
I can't
You
hear.
can't hear me? Oh, that's weird. Hello? No, can you hear me?
Hello? I
Hello?
still can't hear you.
Oh, that's strange.
Add and then now I can hear you. I will go and come back.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. I'm Yafoda Tobra and my co-host. Hello?
Yes. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what happened, but
All right. Hello, Alethea. Welcome to Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, and it's a woman's heart real talk, and it's based on my second book that will be coming out sometime in the future, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And today we are going to be talking about honoring yourself, honor yourself. But before we do that, I'll let Amajo chat with you while I share into some groups so we can get people to come and join us.
hi, Ali. Is it Alita Dolly? Yeah. I prefer calling you Dolly than Aliti. I don't know why. Hi. Hi, everyone that joins us today. I have a way of grabbing people's name and how I normally say them. I try to polish things a little bit.
Okay.
So hi everyone. Hi lovely people that join us or that's with us. Hi everybody. Happy Sunday. It's almost over, or some people already on their Mondays. I pray you all have a very, very wonderful week ahead. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
Just give me, I have two more.
Okay.
I'm just fascinated as usual by how we start a month and then before you know it, you're into the last week of that month.
And yeah, stop talking about it because I really want this year to just pass so quickly. I'm so tired of this 2020.
Well, we all are, but you can't hurry it up. You just have to go through it. So, my dear.
To me, we're already in December 25th already. I think it's even dragging 8 feet too much. You should hurry up and come and go.
We just have to take it as it is. So, like I said, we are talking about honoring yourself, and I need to find the text. Where's the section?
Auntie, if you are done, how do we honor ourselves?
Well, we're going to talk all about it because, there's a few comments. Hello, Miss Sage. Welcome. What's cooking today? Today we are talking about honor yourself. And it's from The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. That'll be coming out sometime in the future. So we're just going to start the reading. So I don't even, you know what? I wrote this a while back. I didn't even, okay, the definition is here, so not to worry. Okay, I'll start reading. It says, It is important to keep in mind at all times that we are made in the image of God, our Creator. One would assume that it would be quite easy for us to honor or hold ourselves in high esteem then. You would agree with me, though, that this is easier said than done. So, what do I mean by honoring yourself?
Yeah.
To honor yourself is to respect, admire, and appreciate yourself. One would think that honoring oneself is something that comes naturally to us. However, this is not always the case. Shall I hazard a guess and say that in most instances, this is not so? What are some of the challenges that prevent us from honoring ourselves? And the first one is relationship. So, what do you have to say about? Oh, there's Ajua. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
You've been in Canada twice today. You are amazing. I guess you love the snow.
Menam kacha be kakra be huna ma betna ho ta
Yeah, package yama. Americans will be mad at us. It's yeah, package
Yes,
is no
yes,
now.
I
yeah.
say will
Okay.
I hope
So,
I hope it is say.
Very well.
So
we
we are
were
yes.
we were reading about the introduction of honoring yourself. So I was asking Amajo what she thinks. Like we're saying that it's important. God made us, and so we are made in His image.
That's right.
So it would be easy to hold ourselves in high esteem.
Mm, mm.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing,
Yeah.
honoring ourselves.
What did you do with the tie? It looks so cool. You know me, I'm a funny hairstyle type, right? You
Oh,
could see my hair, right?
you see,
I love the bow.
Excuse me, guys.
In the one you had in the morning.
this right here, right?
Yeah.
On say
Excuse me, ladies. Can you just carry on? Just
yeah, dig we the comb no. And I'm media scarf no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on say uko Ghana on say yeah to say
Mehu, mehu.
to say how
Those,
ma
yeah, those line ones.
ah and
Yeah, I kind of had different types because now me tied to touch a German Crawford. I have a lot. But Odi yeah, bow, no, no, very nice in the morning when I saw it. Yeah.
definitely when they say giants yeah styles maybe.
Yeah, I just have to spice it up. I love spicing it up.
That's
But
right.
I love crazy hair. Me, I just crazy hair type.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I love the
sorry, ladies.
crazy.
Your hair is always on point.
So
Oh,
Thank you, because I shape it up.
that's good.
This time around,
I
I
don't.
don't know. I come up with something funny
Oh, that is boldness. I have been trying to like I cut my hair two
and
years ago. I mean, my hair was used to be long. I cut it so many times, but 2 years ago I cut it because it was kind of like um, it was too light
not
at
too
the top.
healthy anymore. Okay.
And then I cut it, and then it grew back so quick. Now I want to just. I've been braiding it. My younger sister, Crisscross, has been braiding it because I want to go back to natural hair. So at
Oh,
some point,
I've gone from blue to green, from purple to red.
I think I have to try. I love your lipstick. Oh, that
my lipstick.
it is
The purple suits you
fantastic.
actually.
So you keep trying lipsticks, and then you go and buy some shades that are, you go, this is off. Like it doesn't,
No, but it looks really
But it's
good on
good.
you. It looks
Oh, thank you.
yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Hello, Pastor P. Welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Say, I want to say.
Okay, so
Sister stage about tempo and answer me na ya me ba late ntia.
yeah,
Oh,
you today you are
because
early.
yeah.
No na
Today
ya
you are early. So don't talk about message. So the question that I was asking is like we read the introduction to the honoring yourself.
mhm.
And we're saying that you are made in God's image, so it should be easy for you to honor yourself. But it's something like it's easier. It's like I always say, talk is cheap. We talk about it, but do we actually do it? Do we believe? Do we believe it? Because if you believe in yourself, then you work at honoring yourself. What are your thoughts?
But you said the challenges, something prevents us from not believing in ourselves, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wanted you to say that some of the challenges before we continue.
Well, that is, but I wanted us to go over what I read, because the first challenge is in the relationships, and we have to read that before we
Okay.
can discuss.
Oh,
So my
okay.
main point was that I was saying that God made us. So, He's told us that we are priceless, we are His masterpiece. But do we believe it? Because if you've been told you are somebody great and you don't believe it, then it's hard to make another person believe it, right? Because the way I look at it is, if you are not honoring yourself, it's very difficult for other people to honor you. So that's where we have people coming in to come and treat you anyhow, because you yourself don't know who you are.
Most definitely. I mean, to say, I think that by now, no, most of you have already, you know my motto, like self, everything, right? Uh, I'm very big on that, because for me to honor myself, it means to say I have to appreciate myself. I
Mm-hmm.
have to admire myself. I
Mm-hmm.
have to respect myself. I have to value myself. I have to
Mm-hmm.
self-discipline. I have to be able to assess myself. So everything in life that I'm asking other people to do, I have to be able to do all that for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always talk in terms of, in order for me, because I think I fell in love with my husband after I learned to love myself,
Yeah.
because in the beginning we struggle. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I did care for him,
Mm-hmm.
and I have feelings for him, but it was like, you know, it wasn't something that I was feeling deeply within,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I felt, say, in the beginning, in my mind, I felt okay. I was doing my wifely duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't emotional. We did not build the emotional connection until
Mm-hmm.
after 3 years after we were married. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it took a while, but
Mm-hmm.
once
So,
I started,
so the first 2 years you were doing self-search, you were trying to find yourself to love yourself. Is that it?
no, the first 2 years I was being petty. I wasn't mature. We were both not mature, because we were like arguing over petty stuff, things that was not important. Even when if he makes a certain comment now, I would take it in a negative aspect, and vice
Okay.
versa. So it's like, we were not connecting, even though we were living together. Keep in mind, we were raised in two different households. He was raised
Mm,
in a military style. Everything needs to be like on point. And for me, my parents, like, my mom is very caring and more affectionate, right? My father is like at arm's length, but you communicate with him. You can talk with him, but he wasn't, the touchy person, right? But we got all that from our mother. But at some point, I built a really close relationship with my father. I was actually talking to my father more about certain things that I should be talking to my mom, but I felt comfortable talking to my dad about
I
it.
was a daddy's girl and I did all that. Well, that was because I didn't have a mom around me, but I found that to be much okay, right?
Yes. So when I met my husband, I thought I was going to transfer that with
Okay.
him, but it actually bounced back to me because
Because your dad, your husband is not your dad. I
exactly,
also feel like the mistake I made in search of a husband, I was looking for my dad in every man.
that's right.
And when I couldn't find it, I think I was disappointed along the line. But I have to grow over it to realize that that is way father's love is different, way different, or whatever I'm looking for is way different, or I'm
Right.
searching for something in the wrong places. I
Most
think if I
definitely,
could put it that
especially
way.
when one day you wake up and it's like You talking with someone and the person slap the jinkies out of you nowhere, and your head moved from one side to another because one day it just hit me like, okay, maybe I'm doing this all wrong, right? So, and I wanted my husband's affection so much. It was like you doing it out of desperation. You want this person to love you for the way that you are, like, and then at the same time, you yourself, you don't have that type of love for yourself. So I started focusing. I mean, my mirror has seen everything. You know, at times I'll be just standing there with nothing on and talking to myself like I have lost my mind. So I started, you know, encouraging myself, you know, learning to love every part of my body, not be ashamed of nothing of me, you know. So once I start tapping into that, you know, admiring myself, I was standing in the mirror, I'm like, man, girl, you looking good, you know. So
Adwa, you've said some very important things, and I hope that the women, especially who come afterwards and listen, will pay mind to it. That being so desperate to get the man's attention and not realizing that you have to love yourself first, because in our culture too, we are programmed that the man is the everything. So the woman, you come on this earth, it doesn't matter what you do, you have to end up with a man.
yeah,
So that is,
I
I'm
am
coming,
still
that's the programming that we get. And so we don't realize that for us to be effective in these relationships, we need to know who we are and to love and honor ourselves. So you've raised some very important points.
but okay, but Auntie Yao, I am back here again saying the same thing. Back home, our word is life beginning as 40 for our
Oh,
men. I don't know. I don't know if that is also for women, but it was so common. Then another thing is, if you are in your father's and your mother's house, you wait. You can't do much until Obia Tanahono Bimba Wansa. So there wasn't much a lot were able to do then, because if you really have to prove to be good or show the holy side or the good side of it, meaning you are being obedient and you are staying in your father's house or your mother's house until you are being married, and son before you be
I didn't
Athenia,
I don't
ask
know
it's
what you're
true.
laughing about.
Before you can come, so it will take that long. So I think when you mentioned the part that it's not easy, or we don't find it that easy, I think we've been crippled all this while by sitting there and not doing anything until you have a man in your life.
Hmm.
So imagine if you're not that lucky. Some people are just lucky to be married maybe at the age of 15 or 16 or 18. So obviously they just got there and they have to do their wifely duties and all that. So if you're caught up in all these scenarios, you wouldn't find that time to study yourself and value yourself and all that you are saying in your book. So and my question here is, if you find yourself in this category, what at this time, how would you be able to find yourself and do all these soul searching that we are talking about, and ended up accepting it, loving yourself, and being lovable to others, just as Sister Joa did, or
Well,
Doran?
there has to be a willingness to start somewhere, because it's you, the individual. So Chihona, you realize that something is wrong, and koya, nobody will tell you to start the soul searching. But unfortunately, sometimes some of us may be caught up or wrapped up in our desperation, so we just keep going through life that same way. But we have to realize that there's more to life. For instance, maybe you are in the marriage and then you realize that, yeah, I wanted to get married, hunky dory, everything, but here I am, mitiha, I'm cooking, I'm doing this, mikruno muyami. He's doing his thing, but there's a relationship. Yes, you know he loves you, but aside of the marriage, what do you have? And some people, and I mean, don't get me wrong. You see, marriage is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. But the thing about the whole issue is that we don't come to these relationships healthy or whole. We keep throwing out my better half, my better half. Yeah, fine, but where's the other half? You should be whole.
You
It's who
complete
whole.
me. Okay.
This is 1 + 1 = 1.
Yeah, I
So
mean, sister, yeah, and also I want
mhm,
my friends, families, and other for listeners to also understand.
mhm. I'm
In
looking for
order
my
for one
buttons.
to learn to love themselves now, you also have to learn to dismiss all the negative things, the negative thoughts that we normally develop, or some things that we were raised with. The toxic, unhealthy environment that we grew in, the hatred we have for somebody, right? And also the unnecessary things that will not benefit us. Have our focus, any obligations that, because sometimes some people feel pressure in being in certain situations. There are
Hello,
some,
Marie. Welcome.
hi,
Mhm,
Sister Mary.
Hello.
And then you have some people, some women who were forced into a marriage that they really truly did not want to be part of it, but because of
mhm,
their circumstances and situation, they are
mhm,
there. But what are some
mhm,
of the things that you can do to relieve that pain that you
mhm,
in, the distress
mhm,
that you in, the stress that you in? If
mhm,
you are depressed and stuff like that,
mhm,
because with objects, when it comes to objects, you can work with negative and positive together. You need
mhm,
negative and positive to have a function, because
mhm,
when you think about light, light requires negative and positive batteries. When you put it in order for it to work, you have to have
mhm,
negative and positive. But
mhm,
humanity, negativity and positivity cannot mix, because
mhm,
if you mix it, you just hurting yourself or hurting people around you. Because
mhm.
every day there's going to be situation after situation, so you find yourself one
Thank you, Marie.
finding yourself, to have to deal with so many problems. So each time, instead of dealing,
Mhm,
resolving situation, you building up more. Before
mhm.
you know it, it just get out of hand. So
Yeah.
you have to dismiss everything that has to do with all the negative aspects, right?
Mhm,
What if
And
you find yourself at a situation whereby you wouldn't even know how to dismiss all those that you just
no,
mentioned?
I mean you
The
can.
reason why I'm saying this is I think you watched the video that I posted on the Saxy ladies page, where the lady was so much humiliated and beaten and battled and all that. If you should be this woman, would you be able to find yourself again and pick up your pieces and do away with all those that happened to you? How you've been humiliated on the public, where people were watching you, videoing you, and talking over it, and nobody was coming to your aid.
In some instances, it's going to take forever. In other instances, if
mhm,
she's able to find people depending her circle of friends and family members, because many times, in order for one to move from their situation to another, now they you have to have support. Without the
mhm.
support, you may not be
That's
able to
true.
do it. For me, my circle of friends, prior to kind of opening myself up to social media and meeting you lovely ladies, right? My friends and everything was my family, which was my parents and my siblings. I didn't have anybody outside from that, right? And they were all supportive, and
Mhm,
we support each other when one is going through heartbreak and failures and whatsoever. There's always one person there. Even if you can't get everybody, you're always gonna have one person that's gonna be there with you from
mhm,
beginning to an end. So I
mhm,
come from a really caring, loving,
mhm.
affectionate,
That's awesome.
family. So I have a, like, that's why I always say I have been blessed. I have a couple years of my life I wasn't with my parents, that I have to go through some hell.
Mhm.
That's my hell. It could, somebody may think, oh, yours is nothing, but it was something for me, because it took
Yes.
a lot.
That's yours. No, because it's yours.
Yes, it
Well, we
took
can't negate people's experiences, eh? But people do that.
most
Exactly.
Oh,
definitely.
maybe they are saying what they are. Mhm,
Yeah, but it said we all different, because somebody can be broken with a few little things, or a simple word can break someone to their lowest. So you
Yes.
write someone like that, if they don't have the support that they need, not they may not be able to find themselves to even learn to love themselves, and they're gonna find themselves falling into the same pattern over and over. But before they realize, their life, is too late, and it's really sad. I was dumbfounded that how many people were there. You hear people talking in the background, but nobody came to her rescue. And I was
You
like, my
see?
Yeah.
God, we have
Okay.
gotten to that point,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know? So, like, and it takes one day at a time. Even with me, before I found myself, my husband and I, we've been together almost over 16 years. We've been married over 13 years. So it's like, but with our first 2.5 to 3 years, and we struggle. We truly struggle. It wasn't easy for me, and I know it wasn't easy for him, because we were both miserable, right? Even though we care for each other, I can see in his face, his physical appear, like, he does what he has to do, and I like, but we were both not happy, and because there was constant argument,
You
every
find
little
yourself
thing
at the
would
wrong
turn
place.
into something else. So it's like we need to like be able to identify things that are holding us back. Is it from your outbringing? And like some of it was his outbringing, because like he will like sometimes you compare and trying to like justify your
Now, our men have a habit of saying, "Well, me, my brace or no quan, yeah, sex, yeah, my me show me now. Wow, me, and
Uh-huh.
we
Yeah.
head.
Okay, so maybe we should move it. We should move, like, with the question that I asked you is, what are some of the challenges that prevent us from honoring ourselves? And today we are dealing with relationships. So some of the
Okay,
stuff that you're talking about could be in here, but I'll read the first paragraph. So it says,
right.
"Dear women, we can pursue healthy relationships when we bring our healthy selves along. The question is, have we really taken the time or invested enough in ourselves to do the work of becoming healthy?
Mm,
Women are usually groomed from birth to look forward to the fairy tale, in quotes, experience of a relationship with the opposite sex, marriage. It is particularly ingrained in some cultures more than others! Exclamation mark. The focus is taken off grooming your own self sometimes and towards how best you can please another person. Another
mm,
exclamation mark. What happens is that you, and you is in capital letters, gets lost in the shuffle. If you do not learn to place value on yourself, you will accept any crappy thing and justify it as being normal in quotes,
Yeah.
because you have no expectations." So that's the first paragraph. Any thoughts?
Well, honoring self, just as you said, can never be easy unless you get to know you,
yeah,
unless you believe in what you are saying before.
yeah.
But here it is. It said we should honor it. And somebody, I will be very frank here to say that if it comes to especially we African women, we are not honoring. Majority out there don't understand the meaning of honoring yourself.
Mm,
Just as Antia put it, because Antia already said, you are we are being tagged, and you have this thing in your mind that this you have to go serve.
Hello.
So
that's
if you are serving
right.
your husband, if you have all the energy in you, or all your brain is all you are thinking or doing is, I need to get married and serve that person, meaning you are not going to, you won't think about how you honor yourself. You'll only be
Mhm.
thinking about how you're going to serve. So I would say majority of us out there are not thinking about how we honor ourselves, but rather how we will be, I don't know, first serviceable to our
our
uh,
partner. And then also We honor ourselves by planning how we're going to beat our husband's mistress
Our so-called heads.
or our partners, girlfriends, side chicks, how we're going to fight them. And then for them to know that we love them. That is sickness, you
I
know?
am still standing at the point whereby on my marriage, all the
Hello,
advice
welcome.
was like, oh Barbara,
Oh, right.
it was all about me and nothing to him. Until I was I saw be a casa family direction. You see, defend yourself a little too, and they will ask you, why are you saying that? Somebody will say, oh man, casa, but it was true. Obiegu and
Yep.
ukwe bomodia kodo ukun ko ya sister ma ukun ayari
Adwa.
ebejinai awari ebejinai ewa. You see? This is advice they are giving.
But that's the programming that we've been given.
You both are responsible to develop your marriage, to make your marriage stronger, your partnership, your companionship stronger, be fruitful.
Hello, Pastor P. Welcome, welcome.
And,
hello, Auntie, and all my beautiful ladies.
I
Welcome.
love the hair.
Welcome, beautiful lady.
make it fruitful and
Thank you.
Pastor P, I love the hair. I
I
still
know,
love
right?
that.
She always have beautiful hair. She's beautiful all around. So inside and out. So it's like it stands on both the husband and the wife. And this is why a lot of men take advantage of their wives and their partners, because you know what? When the family talks to them, it's a woman's job to do this, to make your husband happy, and like all that is just bull. And I just feel that the elderly, they need to start rethinking or reset their mindset. When two people married now, they need to give both of them advice equally.
The counseling only the women and leaving men out of it, get it stop.
And then nobody talk to the husband about loving your wife, caring for your wife, and be faithful to your wife. If you're gonna tell me to love my husband, you know, tell them all the things that will get them to not mistreat their wife. But that does not come, right? And most of them at the wedding or the traditional is mostly men. So how you expecting men to, you know, give another man the advice that you're looking for them to give? So it's like, you know, when we have to honor ourselves now, we need to learn to be kind to ourselves. You know, kindness is very important. We need to be able to encourage ourselves, because when you are somebody who is expecting your partner to encourage you, because your partner might be a negative person, how can a negative person give you positive encouragement? No. The once you start encouraging yourself, right, feeding yourself with positivity, nobody can break you down. Even if your partner trying to control you, you will be able to recognize that right away and redirect your partner and let your partner know, say, you know, I care for you, I love you, but this right here, we're not having it, because I'm not your child. And even if I'm your child now, you cannot speak to me in that manner. You cannot address me in that sense. You cannot look down on me, because we equal partner. Physically, you're stronger than I am, but you cannot treat me like, no, that's not happening. So we have to do a lot of self-assessment. I mean, some people would think, say, I'm overdoing it, but no,
You are into your self-assessment.
no, because I kid you not, over 10 years ago, when I started doing self-assessment, right? When I started focusing on myself, I find myself, they say, like, you know, love manifest. My love manifest. You know, people will be like, oh, love is like, it was gradually.
Other one. We are from an area whereby if you are too much into yourself, people will say, oh, we are selfish.
Oh, so, yeah. I am selfish when it comes to self.
You have to be, though.
Because that's what you need to do when it comes to self. You need to be selfish because your self-care is more important. If I don't take care of myself, my husband may not be able to do that for me because he doesn't know what goes through my head. He doesn't know what I need. I know what I need. In order for my husband to know, I have to express that to him. How many of us can express?
Before Pastor,
Okay.
Sister,
Pastor P. Mremu kakra.
Pastor P.
Pastor P. The floor is yours.
Madam, I say thank you. Yes. I think we're talking about today. Honor yourself, right?
yeah,
And more in relationships.
Yes.
Yes. And I wrote something down today. I want to read it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I wrote something. I said, be with someone who motivates you to do better in life because relationships are more than just falling in love.
Thank you.
It's about inspiring each other to become better versions of ourselves, day in and day out.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen.
Amen. But how would you know? How would you know that whosoever you are in with is here to motivate you and help you honor yourself?
But wouldn't you have studied them a little bit?
We don't. No. Beginning of me say although if I'm correct in that. Beginning of every love is so sweet that you are not even looking at, is he actually going to honor me? Is he going to help me, support me to be who I am? We don't think about those things. Am I wrong? These are areas we don't really look at when we are looking for relationships or in terms of relationship. We don't. We along the line we find out, no cross on your boy or something and all that. But beginning we are not seeing those bars.
So what does it mean for us then?
Maybe it's about time we start looking for, just as he's saying, because just as Pastor P, everything that you wrote and just read is so perfect. But it's not easy finding somebody who will help you, upgrade yourself or motivate yourself. They are not really out there.
Sister
Or maybe we don't really see them out there. We see the wrong ones.
Sister Amajo.
Yeah.
Reality, real talk, reality check.
Yeah.
Many of us do not need anyone to motivate us. We need ourselves to motivate.
But when it comes to
but are we
relationship,
willing to take that responsibility, Adjoa? How many people, how many women will say that I'm going to take responsibility for myself and
for
start
my honor?
that work?
Because first of all, even you wondering yourself, somebody is busy out there, say, "Oh, you don't even think about anybody. You got your name tagged.
That's none of their business.
That would be the human. That would be the woman and the man who cares for what the world think of them. Because it is a what that has a patience as a make a boy. Yana ya trap it on me, my trap it on. And then you will be and I me focus on because at dear Bakua Messiah, I have a family member, and that family member, no, she was like an amazing person. She loved anyone, everyone.
Hello.
Right? And then when she got sick, right? The people that you would think would take care of her, will motivate her and encourage her, give her time, because that's all she did in her life. She supported everyone in her circle. But when it came down to her, no, you did not see even one person.
Yeah, meaning you are not putting yourself. She wasn't putting herself first.
She didn't set boundaries.
Focusing. And it's because that was what she knows. She doesn't know anything about me. Have to honor myself first.
Yes. Maybe she had the free because I observed. So, I wasn't an adult. I'd observe, but at the time, no, it didn't hit me. Right? It did not hit me. And sometimes, it is self-taught. Which wo ho adeɛ ɛho hia. Acquiring knowledge ɛho hia. Because to say wosua adeɛ a ɛma w'adwene no emu hyɛ aseɛ bie nkakra. Obi nka sɛ wada ɛnɛ wokɔda adeɛ kye a you seen the light, things will happen at once. Biribiara wɔ mmerɛ. It's a process. You have to give yourself time.
Sister Jo, listen to this. I took a taxi. I was new in Calgary back then. So I took a taxi and going to a place I didn't even know. And in the taxi driver decided to have a conversation. He's an Indian man whose English is not very, very clear. So when he started talking, I was, this man, I don't even understand you. Don't. I was trying to ignore him, but he pressed on. He insisted, talking until I was, I think I just have to pay attention to him and just him drive. Do you know what he said that day? It's been a while. This thing I'm talking about is like over 10 years. So this is what he told me. What did you do for Sheila? She asked me, what's your name? My name is Shiloh. And okay. So what did you do for Sheila? I was, this man. I said, my name is not Sheila. It's like, and then he was, what did you do for her today? So then he got my attention. And then I was, what did I do me today? And then I was, okay, I went to the class here and I'm going here and I don't even know that I'm going for job interview. And then he was, yeah, you are young. And I think you have so much on you. Relax, take it easy on you. Do something for Sheila. So if I said do something for you, is remember yourself and do something for you. So if I would say anything about me, looking at me to do something for me, I pick it from that taxi driver.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Some of us need the motivation from something.
Yes.
So we are motivate too.
By the end of the day, after coming down from the taxi, he continued by telling me, you have to save for Sheila. If you save to buy something, save something for you. And I have accounts saving for me. I still do that. And I'm so ever grateful for that man. I haven't met him anywhere before, but that little conversation we had is something I hung on so dearly.
Well, thank God for that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank God for that. I mean, my parents, I salute my parents because my parents, they raised my brother and my sisters the same, like, they encourage all of us. They did not, my parents did not teach us to like obey say like they raised us to be independent. All my three sisters, we all independent women. We work hard. We not like the crying baby ones. If I cry, it means say I'm sad and I'm in pain. So the tears is going to come naturally. But
Auntie, I don't forget the ad.
Yes.
I know, right? But it's I think that our upbringing plays a major part in it.
Yes.
When you look at the mass majority of our society, women are raised to be submissive, timid, and dependent on men. So a lot of our men take advantage of that, and a lot of men are also threatened and feel intimidated by educated women.
Strong women.
A lot of men, like when you interact with them and they try to pick your brains and they know say every angle they come you have a response for them.
They don't like that.
Oh, this is not where I can go. I need someone that I will be able to like
bully,
kind of break easily. But they don't realize, what those men don't realize is that having a strong woman, you're going to be you're going to get a lot out of that, because when you going wrong now, we will put you in your place and we will hold you accountable, but at the same time, we will support you and help you figure out what your purpose are, because many of us don't have a purpose. Many of us have a sense of direction. We don't have realistic goals. I mean, if you pull 100 Ghanaian women, right? 50 of them being educative, 50 of them not being educative, and you ask each one of them to tell you about themselves now, you'll be surprised to hear everybody's response.
Which is?
Yeah.
Even
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Hey, Pastor P.
I know I'm
muted. No, I'm muted.
There be not a kind of sunny. Maybe not or hear me. Yeah.
Yeah, and to Pastor Patience, now yet we're talking about your sister Ama Joe Busa send me, which is very important. Say, and we can motivate ourselves, right? And yeah, bit me actually and one day to say we may find some way your bar, and I say we will be a say you don't have that self motivation now. Wunnim kwan abefa so abeya anaasɛ wunni obiara wɔ w'abrabɔ mu obetumi I encourage you. What do you do then?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are a lot of people like that in this world, that they have no one. Even they have people around them, but it seems like there's nobody around them. Yes. They have husbands, they have wives, sisters, mothers there, but their environment is a dead environment. That is the most saddest people on this earth.
That's right.
Because it's so sad that people see you outside, that your mother is there, your sisters are there, your husband is there, but you are empty. They don't help you, they don't support you in any way. Because people don't see what you are going through. They are thinking the otherwise, and you know what you are going through. And so in this case, and in this situation, what you do is that you need to find a common ground that you kind of say or you're cultured in it. Like if I say you are cultured in it, your group, your tribe, something like society, what we do here and other things, and then you try to associate with one that you find some things common with that person. Say, you find something common with Antia or Ajua and Asemia, then you try to get close. But one thing that I've seen and known is people like that, because the true family members now reject or they not support them, they become so afraid to approach people. And so they will be in their shell in sorrow, in misery, It's hard. Not that they don't want to approach anyone, but because they've been hurt by close family members. They've been rejected, no support. Or Kobisa support to us, no, we can help you, but they can help other family members. It's so hard when you are in such a situation. And so if we got to see somebody who is going through something like that, we need to get a little close to them. And it's so hard when you are getting close to them, they push you away because they have built that shield around them. It is and one PA nipa ba no wakoshe back no sana sa nipa no suban ene na brabo sana etie he or she wants to come out, but who nipa pa because of fear say obi be prano, they are afraid of hurt. People are going to hurt them. They are afraid people are going to step on them, and those are the most kindest people in this world. People will never praise them. And most of the time it starts from childhood. Anybody, I'm telling anyone listening to us right now, if you are like that, you are going through such a situation, know yourself that because you are a special, unique child, that is why there's a gold in you. And the enemy has seen the gold, and the enemy wants to oppress you through the through friends, family members. David said something. He said, "Enkampo se ona wotane me, ona wo ye me no. Efri abonte na nka enye me ya ba wo ma me no mu bo kwa sorry. Ya me no mo to nsa didie madam for pa the closest. Ono na wotane me, ono na wo ye me, ono na wo ha me." And that is how it is, because there was so much in David. David was anointed one. He was special in his family. He was unique. And so anybody that is going through that, don't look down upon yourself. No, say there's something in you. That is why. And don't let anybody belittle you. Don't let anyone push you down. Don't let anybody come out.
Pastor P,
Come out of the box.
Pastor P, you have already belittled. You already down. They have already stepped on you. You are you have been degraded. Nothing more is left. How do you wake up? How do you do that?
You need counseling. There are some people, they are broken. And there are a lot of people like that. They are broken. So when you are broken, you don't sit down and just wait. That's why we have counselors. That's why we have mentors. You need to seek help for yourself. Nobody will help you. You have to come out and seek help for yourself. But people don't like to invest in such things. Some are even free. You understand? Some are even free. Community helps here, there. There are a lot of them that are free. You just need to step out, be bold and step out. Don't sit there and say, baby, I drew, we are say, no. And I say, I've been broken. You are breaking for who? Who are you breaking for? You are breaking to break yourself again, to break your future. And so you need to think, you need to, your association also count. Associate yourself with people in outsider and be free-minded. They close their minds. Don't close your mind. Be free. Though you've been hurt, you've been broken. Then you will see, say, oh, I'm just a mere farmer in Fichire say, oh, be a commercial farmer and casa. And don't you know, you may think like that. Say, oh, maybe somebody is going through worse than what I'm going through. Somebody's going through worse than what I'm going through. But, I have to look out for myself. It's for you, not anybody. It's for you and your children, whoever is, your family, your nuclear family. Because if you are broken now I say, me mommy, I breaking me, me papa, I breaking me, whoever has broken me, you can never live your life to the fullness. You can never be you. Never. You will always be in that shield and you will always remain the same forever and ever and ever. And that is not what you want. Ask yourself, is that what I want? No, that's not what I want. So what should I do to get better? This is why Auntie is doing all this, and Ajua and other people do all those things. So you need to be mind open your mind to receive, because those people, they receive at the end, not they live the same, no more refi. It's so hard. When you are counseling or mentoring someone who's been broken, like raped from childhood, mother was not there, father was not there, and also and then nobody respecting me and kind of it's so hard. But with the grace of God, you're ready. You have to be ready to be healed. You have to be ready to be healed. Yes, dear.
What any table so power.
Thank you, Odo.
Hi. Pastor Patience, my dear. And this is my personal opinion. I just feel say your culture, no society, community, no. I truly feel some of us are comfortable with where we are. Some of us are comfortable being broken. No. I'm saying this because many times,
Ajua.
Yeah,
they want to be pampered like Obi and have a sympathy on them. No, that be Obi
Exactly.
We need to. That's what we need to face the facts.
Oh yeah, sometimes
You
you have
know,
some men, some
yeah.
women. Why do you think that we are so stuck up with excuses, giving reasons, and blaming games? Because they don't want to grow from where they are. Everybody
No,
wants to
we
grow. A lot of
no.
people, sister,
Other one.
no,
Other one.
I'm
More
being
land.
finished and then let me
Debio,
tell you something.
Sister Sheila, and you would you know, we are speaking general here.
I
When we
know,
talk
I
on
know, I know.
platform,
We are
it's
speaking
general.
general, but you touch a base of saying so we want sympathy.
Some of them do.
Before,
Oh,
okay,
some of them, yes.
Some of them.
okay.
I've
How
cancelled the
do
young
we
ones.
have
Let me
they?
tell
Do
you.
they even know what I wanted to throw in? Do they even know that this is the situation and it shouldn't even be a blame game? They shouldn't look for sympathy. Do they know? We are not at that stage whereby we should be telling ourselves we know and we are looking for sympathy. We know they haven't even accepted it.
No,
That
but
this is the problem yet.
you see the problem
Yeah.
because the part that some of us will miss, because I have counseled some people,
Mhm.
and when you counsel them, okay, you give them the tools, the coping skills that they can use to build themselves up, okay, and move from that past situation into the present, left alone to be able to press forward. But most of the time, no,
They
because
won't.
they don't
Bam.
allow it to go, they don't allow it to let it go, right? They are so stuck up with what this person did to them, what they went through. So it's like they're expecting someone to work on it for them.
No, coming to you, listen, coming to you for counseling was maybe a little step. But they won't follow that step because after coming to you, they have somebody else who you first say, oh, who free who cry there in Casamamintia, somebody else. And if to the voice becomes to you don't know what you to listen to. So those are the reason why they don't go ahead and follow up with the counseling.
Joe, I'm speaking about young fan to Timmy for. Yeah, they are fan to Timmy for the minimum no. And you know, no, there was one they refuse, frankly.
I don't want. Yesterday, Auntie made a statement that if you maybe you ask them to do something or you have a conversation, you put your idea there, and then you even manage to do follow up to them to find out what they did. And they, oh, me cry me phone say yo, oh me cry me rent me cry man call. No, yes, me rent in the one call. Still, I accept said the work canceling. No, the hour dear man in the year 2 be a bebuano because on admitting. So problem is me honoring myself here yet. One accepting it yet. It's
That
making
is
that
true.
move alone. Making that move alone. I'm saying the mess has been there for so long. We have to do it by crawling. It have to be baby steps. So people will come, you will cancel them, but they will still go back because he still hasn't even valued the counsel you have given yet.
Yes.
And so
you know
meaning he
what we
still
call
haven't
them?
accepted it. It got nothing to do with they don't know. Or but oh why can I my team
Yeah.
body think or I did it tomorrow call and run. And no, this aspect is not only for be phone call but
Yes, that is true. You know what we call them? In counseling, we call them trauma bound.
Yeah.
Trauma
Thank you.
bound. Because those people know they have I have to maybe you know in our be very hurt. But those people know their mind is they've gone a little crazy.
Oh yeah.
Because of hurt they've been through, they've been traumatized in life. Maybe from their childhood, mothers, aunties, sisters, somebody. And they have rejected themselves and they have rejected everyone.
Thank you.
In their eyes, they see everybody as evil. Woyɛ nyame nyankopɔn firi soro na obesi n'anim sɛ esi ntakra soso na bɛti ne hene ne baabi a sɛ mini nyankopɔn korɔ ɔbɛka sɛ nyɛ wo ni nyankopɔn wo you are here to hurt me. And those people are there. Those people know their mind is triggered. And so we have to take them through narrow things, near some kind of therapy, be created, and some counseling, because they have already rejected themselves. They have rejected the world. They have rejected people around them. They see everyone as a bad person to hurt them. You are a counselor. You are not here to help me. And if you are talking to them, they rise up and then they start shouting. They start, put the chair. I don't want to listen to anybody. You all don't like me. You are this and that. And if you are, you are blessed in the opposite way. To marry to such a person, you are doomed.
Pastor Patience.
Yes, dear.
You see, you talking about a portion of those who have been traumatized over and over and over. But Sister Sheila is kind of like making everything as a whole. But Pastor Patient, you just put the nail in the coffin. We have that portion, and we have other portion. We do have some people, they are twisted, being twisted in the head and dysfunctional. Some of them, they have not been they are not victims, but they place themselves to be victims because they're looking for empathy. And some of us in our community and society are good with that. How do you think a lot of
we do the blaming game? So what do you expect? Everything around us have to be the blaming game a lot
in our society. The reason why they move from one relationship to another or a marriage to another is that when they go, they bring all their baggages from one relationship into the new one. So they come and dump everything in there, expecting they would tell the current boyfriend or husband everything that the ex did to them, right? And then when it comes to them having misunderstanding or argument, you best believe that your current boyfriend or husband is going to drop everything you told him on you. And then you feel like you're being victimized. But who provided the information to your current
you think you have heard something? This one will shock you. Let me put it here because I know my friend wouldn't be mad. You think you heard it finish? Wouldn't you be and soon you? Me young combrabo. Well, or visa no they call US. And Nigerian. And money worry obi because Okodu and no must you who he has a bekobi and money worry obi for krata. And nipa no worry no for krata and nipa net wire that you who no. Into your mind to me and de krata na chin. And next back Canada. Inti this one because so bet me about Canada and now yes stone way mini obi fan driver no dey free US ho and no dey be free mo Canada ha inti we share obi no ne nipa ne ko ne nipa na wo mienu the catch na ne say time me ba foforo na me wo US no ye ma me worry obi for krata and so nipa na follow up inti and some me be free mo the obeshia no wa ha no bua no ma ne nya krata no and no na wo mienu ntọkọbe mu awarija ya bae no bema no okuno oko eyi eminafo ho police fo ho ko catch o say we say bigamy wa wari obi wo US no na wo mie no oni ne kakasa baako oni ne kakasa baako you've not even heard it finish enye onwa so obi oni na wo krotimi ye na sa
because
police
for failure.
Police didn't tumu and son of fight ya me some marriage no yeah well US be free so and son and the whole tunnel. And yes okay we no
some of us set ourselves up for failure because that's why we say don't bring your past experience or whatever, deal with it and make sure you are fully healed before you to another. But some of us, because you're fancy and I said man in Tino, and I said I have to breakfast also.
I had something in mind, but Pastor P is muted. I wanted to throw this out. I'll throw it out when she comes, don't you know?
Oh, I'm here.
Not meeting story you see about women honoring ourselves, and these things are going on in our community. Something that I read somewhere. You see, Obabi, your chrome ni na you kind of saying, so nikunu, ene ne baba ada. Ọka kyerɛ ne ba ne sɛ ɔmmua n'ano ma ɔnka hwee na the man is the main breadwinner. And we have a lot of these situations of women who have settled, who do not know themselves, and they put up with anything without going far. Me, I used to say, I have 2 daughters. I always used to say that, you know something? God forbid that if my husband was ever to touch my kids, which I know he would never do, I would solve the cops. Yeah, but a lot of these things are going on, and then we do this katasumwemasu, and people suffer. There's this lady even that I watched on one of the shows back home, and I think that she had been abused or something by her father or her mother's husband. I don't know. And then so they moved her to go live with the grandma, and the grandma was calling her a certain name in their language. And she did not understand that word till she grew up. Apparently, the word meant prostitute or something like that. So the statement that I make that sometimes it is us women who help the men even to oppress men.
Oh,
this
yes.
is one of them.
That is true.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that is Sister.
mm-hmm.
Why are you saying I have experienced a lot of people? My first, like 10 years ago, that was the thing that was coming to me like a memorable. All over the world, Ghanaians. Baby, one of the first one that I settled was in Germany. The lady, 5-year-old girl, baby, not a girl, a baby. Husband no ne da or ne da na ni kunu na kofa no ne na da menka ni twi na one na da maame no kopie so e na ode ba your radio station obeka kire sofo ye ka asem no ma papa ni free honom ye ma ni free ho koi. That time I was not in that case the first one. And then the lady allowed the man to come back to the house again. And one night maame say ɔda hɔ nom ɔsɛ ɔnkɔhyɛ nkora ne dɛm ɔnkɔ a papa na tam akwadaa ketewa baako wadi 4 years ɛde ne kɔ basement ɛna no nso wɔyɛ no sister ya ɛne mo a motie asɛm wɔ ya ne sa kwadaa ketewa mmienu wee se yɛ ka sɛ maame no ma papa no nkɔ ɔme yɛ nkye na me deɛ me so yɛ nkye no me deɛ me saa nneɛma no deɛ nya ɔnkɔ asɛm me deɛ me I will call for you right away Emi enche o si papa no call ye no na onyu obi nhwe nkwada no enti no enya de obeme ya che papa no enya de so obema papa na free ho enti obema na tena ho na nkwada nkete 5 years we ye di 7 years now we so wo 4 no onko so pu nkwada no onu ani
Pastor Peter for the
I will call
this woman, the
so
woman
many.
herself is Mami Nankasa Yare Dada.
Child Protective Service.
Yes.
CPS.
Mami Nankasa Yare. Because to say the lady who was beaten and humiliated and brutalized, the lady whose video I'm still talking about. If let's say this woman is that kind of a woman, and when you be na nipa ne so me pew, now I accepting the son, now I worry na nipa na dani messiah. Everything the person would do, no, but when they say it's okay because on no pen waiting me free that tangent name. No,
Because that person, Sister Sheila, if somebody thinks like that, that means you yourself, you are broken.
Oh, yes. The person,
you yourself, you are broken because there's nobody I will bet my fan so if you are not broken, if you don't look down upon yourself, you will not find say or be a member compliment or no, you won't do like that. We all have been through a lot of things in life. But it doesn't mean say ya rest yes ya be pen ya rest be mommy ya rest so whatever transfer so And until then, life goes on. Even it's a blessing, the blessings of the Lord. There's always blessings in everything. But if you don't see it, Obama said the corona asha also not destroy. Because there are two things in this world. Either you'll be destroyed or you can make it. And so every situation, you choose the one you want to choose. No matter how bad the situation is, there's always a blessing in disguise.
That's right.
All that you have to see and know, say, and I was to share Shrana, a word the corona, a two winning. You know, I na be say, oh, are American actually what is when I had a yachiwa into Oko crane be crana. No crano is going to be something that you can use to educate other women, other people. So think about what can I gain? What can I retrieve from what I went through?
That's right.
That is me and that's my life, and that's why I tell people, because people try to dwell on negatives. And my boni ato no wabrabom na da bia no na adwa wo ka no obesi yen consoling all the time. I love educating the young ladies, the young ones, the college and then the high schoolers. I really love them.
That's right.
So much. Why? Because most of them are broken. I love to fix. I love to fix people, to fix them, those young ones. Not say me fix me more there be no dey me about yeah, but the young one can fix you. And the younger, but if you are able to help them, but there's so many people, Mimi dealing with a Mabebre, there's a lot of young ones you can never imagine. They were all raped. You will never thought. And fire rape woman is 80%. Because people that I've seen, I've known, I've counseled most of them, yeah, and yet the woman may counsel woman where young ones now may have so when you college, most of them rape woman who said one in you couldn't to come yes I may solve but who said near maybe have you been raped before? I said yes. What age? 5. One mama 5 for the moon because 5 years in Korano, about almost all of them were very young when they were Bako pet and I know where 10. Bako pet and I know not 10 or crown or no the cousin or bar and a repuno.
Look at that.
The cousin or bar and a repuno. Yes. On a downfall into on a downfall no man down for na no bua no amaria no. This girl was broken. Then so and no becha de nyame de ne ye o you and nyina.
Wow.
It was broken. Or catch any obi and fin yes or no ya crabon, Ghana.
Look at that.
Oh no ya crabon, but and they she's here. All making life, what get it out of and all help until now what's it through that no make cancel no buano manjin is go free. May say what's it cool or no airboa a world and cry busy woman ma repu or money I did and no necessary in the organization until you need to draw something out. You need a godly counselor, somebody that can hold your hands, somebody that will understand you. Obo how corner a counselor but on foul on no kwade wo kan on tiase. No, wow. Call police. Say, yeah, you can call police, but after still the person is still broken. And then I be the abuasa any panel. And people, we always need to forget it anyhow, but forgive yourself, forgive those they have hurt you, forgive the pain you've been through, and there is always a destiny in your heart. There's always a destiny in your brokenness. And then the negative will overtake you. That shall also not destroy.
Patience, sometimes our traumatized event or situation, we can turn that to be our strength.
Yes.
Pastor Patience, I know someone or no, so no, like she went through a whole she went through a whole lot. Artist that she was raped, not by one family member, but multiple family members, right? Oba abroad no to say we shall see CT counseling and of course me find program but na me per se or no so ye part of it say on maso video but say obe friend ne yakan you but she's
Yeah, but sometimes when they call her, people hear their voice. Once I Ghana for there, they know. Say, see, as a sister Sheila Nafra, I will know right away. Say,
it's you know,
which is say you know.
and we talk about
Because
it.
I know the voice.
Yeah, we talk about it and I'm catching so okay, in due time, no, may because me person may no at the right time, at the right moment. And you know, they said yeah, it happened to her and they say, you oko seek counseling because counseling no obi wo ho no ma ono no wonim na adwuma say as a counselor no you shouldn't date your patient. But what papa na okohu no no deɛ kɔbaa ne sɛ papa no hyɛ aseɛ like aduro a na wɔfa no papa ne ma no firi aduro no so sɛ biribi ɛnha no ɛna papa no hyɛ aseɛ ɛne no ɛdaeɛ na ɛduru baabi no girl no te sɛ ɔnom nsa a na kyerɛ sɛ yareɛ te sɛ she's depressed, you know, not just say she gets confused a lot of.
Hold on. Who slept with who? The counselor slept with the lady?
Slept with the lady, yes. He's
hey.
Yeah.
The counselor is also sick.
No, but Pastor Patience, this one, right? What happened is that Oba drew baby no one night he counselor no ekoton someone no me. And then say no per se just say oh yeah girl no dear or pay.
Yeah, I think say Nisubai no or yes sir. Yeah. Girl no, say everyone who is broken, you know, is or
vulnerable.
Vulnerable, you know, and or per se will be acceptance.
Yeah. Was spending 12 years in jail because a counselor no yes no she went off and of this kind or this type of and you know to say like I was spending your friend is saying 6 years normal man is spending a psychiatric hospital and then
why do they have to put her in jail? It's self-defense.
First of all, no, not on say we tuntuma be or honma, ebi mu say.
Na counselor ni so ye broni.
Ebi mu say she was acting on me. I didn't know. Nanka so spending 25 years in jail, but to say,
and then the man died.
The man died, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, on one counselors are omukofa busuafo ni bi hire na ye etuntumfo nti investigation ye almost appealing, you know. And judge now saw case in the said this person should not have been put in jail. She needs treatment. I know now saying, you know, like or they say no, she's free. You know, everything has been cleared and stuff like that. But to say or kind of miss it down and then the casa missing, I'm so gosh, that is so terrible. I mean,
that is so hard. Yeah.
Some of the counselors, and especially men, vulnerability now, no taking advantage of you. Now, I was like, this man did wrong. Say, Obia or Yari, woman, free ned so. Now, what shall I see? No, engaging in sexual act.
Some doctors do the same thing. Some coaches do the same thing. Yeah. So it's something that you need to have an eye open and make sure say Uma will be taking advantage of you. And it's not even doctors are not family members, they do that. People that are broken, depressed, and other things, you know, also or who say, do you be nature? Now cousin ordinary na beti no osugu so obi no wada obi hu ano or no wada. You know, I've heard a lot. I've heard
there's a lot that's going on. Yeah.
There's a lady no ne mame etimi ko fa ne ma ne bre ne kunu no na ne kunu ne wo mata.
No, we can't read it all. I'm coming.
You see, it's sad.
I'll just
The
read the last half.
Or see to the point it say ni nua kra ne nan nya ote huriche mu ne papa ne ne da. Yes.
That's nasty.
Mhm.
Honoring yourself. If you're a woman in this relationship and you are standing there to watch it. Anyway, I'll finish the last paragraph, then we'll discuss a bit and then wrap up. So the results, based on what I said before, many of us women do not even know who we are anymore. I was in a group on social media the other day when a woman asked a question. She said she was a wife, a mother and a wife. Who is she now that her marriage is over? Another woman responded, you are a wife and a mother. I thought the second woman missed the point completely. I believe the first woman was struggling. The first woman was struggling with identity issues. The second lady, however, provided her answer based on her cultural views, African views. I'm assuming I can't fault her because that is her reality compared to the other women's. In our culture, an African culture, a woman, oh, you're a wife, you're a mother. Nobody ever asked a question about who are you, let alone even think about honoring yourself. Into who ni nyonko bibini die or broni die na or can say, oh, miku, I've been so involved in my marriage. Now, who am I? No, or no, say you are a wife and a mother. So woman no is struggling. These are
Auntie, my friend and I, my dear, my friend and I were talking about. Okay, so there was a night on the Facebook saying you were having an argument with your dad or with your husband. Your dad came in and asked you to come with him. Would you follow your husband or would you follow your father? So my friend and I were discussing this. I realized the African in me because I stood for a while. Then I asked my friend, and then he was, of course, I'm going to follow my husband. And then I was, really? You were having a problem with your husband. You were, yeah, of course I have. It was my husband, but I will not follow my father because I left my father and made a family with my husband. So I will follow my husband. Oh no, no. But me as a daddy's girl, I was like, what?
many of us.
But as soon as I left my father and I made a family. I was many by me also. I realized the pathway because now this is my family. And but then at the same time, I went back and I questioned, said, so what if you followed and then you finally got kicked out? Where would you go? No, I'm not going back to my father. I left there and I made my family. So if it doesn't work, I will do something else. I don't necessarily need to go back there.
Africa for you,
But also, I have something to say about that too. It depends on the scenario, the scene, how the fighting on it is saying.
Well, it was just a topic put on Facebook.
Yes.
So
I'm just bringing some broad and thinking broadly.
Broadly.
And so in case this man is abusive, your husband, that's why a lot of people die. We remember Barbara.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
But Pastor P, that being said, all that I said was, I will also make sure I don't find myself in a situation whereby I have to choose between my dad and my husband. And my reason is because the feeling and the love that I have for my father will definitely overtake me, and I ended up choosing my father over my husband. So I wouldn't want to find myself in that situation.
But family is always family. Let me tell you, Oh, if your husband, in that's a case, if the husband is abusive and my dad comes in and my husband is abusing me, I will follow my dad.
Yes,
But
for
if
sure.
my dad just saw a little
But you
scene
will follow
and
your
then
dad,
say,
forgetting that you've already, your dad is no more your family. You have made your family.
no,
But
my
he's
dad is
abusing
still
you,
my
Independent
so you
family.
can't
There's
stay.
no way I would say my dad is not my family. My dad is my family. His blood is in me. This is why some women, we go
it is
out
hard.
and we
It is
allow
hard.
ourselves to be abused,
Yes,
thinking that is I've left home. My dad, if you
yes.
are marrying her child, her daughter, he will tell you that
Yes.
I have not sold my child to you. And
Mm-hmm.
that makes the men afraid because we are all girls, afraid to abuse any of my dad's child.
But
When I was
we are
going
in a
through
we
something,
are in,
everybody knows that somebody that Akedi or Bonyum, that Akedi Ajua, that
Anonymity.
Akedi asked somebody, we were talking three ways, and he put somebody on, and he said the person he said, oh, so you remember P? Or say, oh yeah, man, run, oh P, I say say, or say me, oh Juan Bano, or bomb me papa di Mister or say Bano, and was hey, who dated? I said me, Papa way back.
Mm.
Papa wei ba ɔsi mi suro no. Papa wei yɛ so kɔware ne ba wɔn ne ɔde bɛma wo no. Enti no obi ayɛ dɛ esuro wɔn abisu. But whereby asamen ɔhyɛla where you were saying si yɛ tu for ɛware wa yɛ ma mɛɛma ne tirim yɛn dɛ mimi fie yɛ nyɛ saa adeɛ no wo bɛɛma no kɔ ne betwi wɔ anim kɛse. Because ɔmo ma ɔmo hu sɛ ɔmo ba baa ne yɛ ɔde hyeɛ enti no wuntumi nkɔ abisu ne ba.
that was what happened to me. Okay, I would say at the point I got married, I didn't have my father anymore, and I've been motherless since when. So it's only family members sitting there and saying what they think they
Yeah,
have to
that's
say
what they
to
do everywhere.
the
They
point
only
where I
talk to
have
the
to fight
women and
myself
then
in,
they leave
right?
the
So
men.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
It's
let's
not.
take a commercial break and then we'll be back
Okay.
to continue. So you can find the book Reflections of a Thirsty Soul on Amazon, Prison Press, Barnes and Nobles, Google Books, and other places. It's only $20 maximum, anywhere from 17 to 20, depending what price you find online. It's a good read, so go get it and you will be blessed. So, ladies, we've been talking
Yes.
about,
As some as sister Ama and Pastor P kind me person me be home. I mean to say I definitely, agree with Pastor Patience. It depends on the scenario and the situation, because to say when it comes down to being abused, right? A
Mhm.
lot of women they mistakenly, choose their husband, the abuser, because some
Mhm.
of them are so like they don't see the danger that they in. They feel say, oh, that's my husband, he's not going to hurt me, right? But when one is angry, or someone anger is like uncontrollable, because a lot of people don't realize, anger is one letter away from danger.
Mhm.
And many times, some of us become immune to the behavior of our partner, because that's just so and so. Like,
Mhm.
he will calm down and that will be it. But there's going to be one bad day, right?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
it's always important to be strategic, okay?
Very, very.
When at times, some of us will resort into going to our parents, because we know, so once we go to our parents now, we are safe over there. And then you have some women who will be more because they don't want their parents to be involved with their marital issues. Hey, brother Emmanuel, welcome. Their marital issue, they will either go to a hotel or start finding their own place. We do have some women, even though they're being abused, they still have the mind frame, the emotional intelligence to get their own place. Before the man knows it, they will move out with their children.
That would be me.
Yes, but you have a small percentage of women that will do that. Majority of them, they will find out at their family home, back at their family home, and then they being tossed back and forth, right? So when you are in an abusive situation, you always need to make sure that you are one step ahead of the abuser, making sure that you get resources, and you get help. You don't just push things away and say, oh, we've been together for this long. He has gotten upset and he has never hurt me. Because,
One day will be the last day.
exactly. Because when you have a husband or a wife who always get angry, their anger management is off the chisel. At some point, it's going to boil over, and you don't know when that day is gonna come. Sometimes you could be sleeping, laying right next to them, and they will start strangling you.
Yes,
I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's things that happen.
that's true.
We have
Actually, I'm reading a book about Lisa Nichols. It's in there. She went through that. There's another book. Yes, the man strangled her. She collapsed, and it was midnight when she came out. She came back to her senses. It was noon, afternoon. We are
and she told me that he did not bury her.
Oh, it's been going on, and she was thinking that, this, and this man was even, it wasn't even her husband. They were about to get married. Yes, it's scary. In fact, I was like, when I was listening to, I'm like, are you crazy that you sat there? And this man was, I was like so angry, really listening to the book.
But you know what? Every abuse, it does not start with physical. It starts with verbal. It
Yes.
starts with verbal, then emotional, psychological. They have to break you first before you go into the physical aspect. All right. So it's like that's why it's important, in the beginning of the relationship, even when you're dating, no woman should think, say, once he marries me, I'm going to change him. We can never change another person. You can only change yourself. So we need to stop with the, being in a fantasy world, and we need to think realistically and making sure that we don't limit ourselves and don't settle for less and allow our men to be abusive in any form of shape, or some women being abusive to men in any form of shape. We all human. We have feelings. Our feelings get hurt. We're not perfect, but our imperfections should give us room to work on ourselves. So it's like a lot of times we don't take certain situations seriously, but we have had people that had died through abuse, and we have had people that had died through anger. We have had people that had died because someone do not have self-control. So, like, for some family members, you have your daughter being beaten by her husband, and you tell her because, you need to give her more sex. We're not about sex. We're not point, like, it's like, it just, it amazes me, and sometimes I get so furious when I hear some women putting other women down and talking like, we can't do that. We need to empower ourselves and encourage each other. We're not saying, say, oh, I'm not, I mean, I I'm not telling people to get divorced, but when you have chosen a partner who does not love you, the only thing that they want from you is, taking away, financially abusing you, emotionally, psychologically, every abuse in that relationship, that person do not care for you. They don't care for you, and they're going to take someone who does not care for you will take your life just like that. They will not hesitate to take your life. It don't matter how many children you have together. Women needs to wise up, and men needs to wise up, because there are some men, they think that they have everything in control, and one day they're gonna lose it. And you, like, people don't know, like, anger. When you have anger, no matter how small it is, you need to start working on it, because as time goes on, it's gonna grow, and you're going to become a weapon. And that weapon, when it goes off, is gonna kill. It's going to be fatal. It's gonna take somebody's life away. So we need to stop this excuses and blaming game and giving reasons as to if she should have done this. And those double standards, people who will say, oh, if the woman like have the authority arrest their husband, they'll be like, I can't believe a Ghanaian woman will have her husband get.
Let them say it.
And then when the husband kills her, I can't believe she didn't call the cops on her. Like, what the hell?
They are the same people who come and cry at your funeral and eat and drink.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I forget about you when they leave.
Insulting you.
That's
You
right.
will be lying, your cops will be there and they will be insulting that foolish lady. Let me just drink and eat some food. You have called police, you have run from home.
I'm guilty as charged because I was questioning myself how Barbara listened to that threat right in front of
The
her brother
defending the man.
and still just took it. Well, not even the defending part. The defending part I didn't see anything wrong with, but the part where I kept asking myself, how come the next day she felt comfortable going to work rather than just making an email, sending an email, or calling work, I'm not coming, calling a friend and run away, go to the friend. How come she didn't save her life? I'm still asking this, and I'm still like,
Sheila, you saying the defending part, you didn't see anything.
All that I'm saying is she was a student, she had a mate around her, she couldn't go to anybody.
No, she was not in the house.
For that threat to come down a little bit, you know?
She was not in the house. I know them. I talked to them. She was not in the house. She left. She was out of the house long ago. She wasn't in the house.
But my point here is she was no more in the house. But that threat came so seriously. Her brother was Barbara, you can't take
hiding.
No, he has said it several times.
Go to work.
Look at this. This thing did not start. Barbara thing wasn't something that start now. It's common. The guy says things like that, and she was thinking that but one day, you see, and when the man is broken, the anger, I know them. I can say a little bit. The family is broken with anger. They have anger issues. Hey. Sister is here. Yeah, the family, they have anger issue. It's a rooted thing in the family, all of them. The hand of God is upon them, but they have anger issue. Omo problem, no more minister cry is anger. Or no, shani diya so nikruno. No shani diya so kakra. Or no, because or no, you're very quiet pa. But the other ones, no, she, you cry, sorry, them cry, they can do whatever. Yes. But people think, say, yes, I was thinking, say, oh, there's no way, so bet my but this is a man going through depression and in their maniema. Not I say. So one person so no ni nyawo dia no watu kwadia ene o nyawo dia obi anso nye den enyaw. Onyawa obi enyaw. That was the thing a man if the kuno. Say me nyawo dia ene obi anso nyaw ti then I will kill you. And then
America not here. Thank God for that.
Yes. Not I say, the problem is most of women, we are just like Barbara, thinking, say, oh, me create suffer, and I suffer my man, the can't find me home, yeah, my ex-husband, I got him arrested. When he pushed me, I won't wait for you to print something on me before I call police. I will call police right away. I'm just a small woman, I don't have strength. I'm not going to sit there for you to slap me. No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but there's not that many strong women like you, Pastor Patience. And
after that, I went to hotel or made me free my goddamn hotel weekend. I'm by the hotel. Share. I walk home to the hotel.
Yeah, how do we choose wisely? How do we know choose wisely?
That's another discussion. Another discussion. Amaju.
brother Emmanuel G said, once you see the rage, now run for your family single room. Sister Amma said, go get your home.
Ladies,
Sister Amma, when you are like that's your last resort. You will settle for that family single room or copy say feed together. And I mean, like they made to me, I kind of say, they say when it comes to situations and everything, how we can honor ourselves. In every situation, there's a solution. And you also have to come up with alternative because what might work today might not work tomorrow. So don't settle for one thing. And a lot of times, many of us are expecting other people to save us, but we fail to recognize that other people might be also going through some struggles themselves and some challenges themselves. And the advice or the suggestion that they might give to you, it may not necessarily work for you. That's why it's important for us to also uh, learn for ourselves, learn to self motivate ourselves, to encourage ourselves, to admire ourselves, to respect ourselves, to value ourselves, to do every like listen, let people tell you say you being selfish with yourself, self everything. For me, I am very selfish and I'm proud to be selfish when it comes to myself need, my self care, my self assurance, my self assessment, my self discipline, my self confidence, everything about self. I'm selfish about that. And that's healthy, right? When you are selfish, extending that to people that loves you, it becomes a problem. It's a negative selfishness, right? You have to be selfless in regards to like extending what you have learned for yourself for other people that you care for. But self-respect, we sometimes we talk about, oh, you have to respect me. Do you respect yourself to expect someone to respect you? So everything that we expecting others to do, it has to start from you, right? And many of us don't focus on ourselves. Many people trying to please everyone but themselves, right? So honoring ourselves is really important. People who does not know and now learning needs to start to gradually. You take one day at a time. Even if for 21 days or 1 month, you tell yourself this November is coming. October is almost over. November, I'm just going to work on self-care. Work on self care. Take your time at your own pace and figure out what works for you, what does not work for you. What are some of the things you can do for yourself that will make you happy and make you have a peace of mind. So you take one thing and you work on it with time, gradually. Don't push yourself, right? And for me, the things that I started working on, I start with the things that it was my weakness. Self-love was my weakness. I did not have any love for myself. So that's the first thing I start. I started with self-love. So like it's a lot for many people. Some people cannot do it, but we got to get away from always expecting people to help us from our situation because that's why we settle for less. All right. And people just need to stop with the excuses and the reason and the blaming. I have reached the point, like even with some of my family members, when we're talking about, oh, like, I can't do this because I said, please, if you're going to give me excuses and reasons and blaming game, then stop. I don't want to hear it. What can you do to change that certain condition? It's a certain condition. It's something that can be changed. So what are you doing to change that? We need to start saying, "Mefanisa, yamfan titime, diemini mano, eti efi hono, ubefanisa." So, into the change of mindset, it starts with here, within. Everything that we want in life, it starts with us. So, like, I'll continue to speak about self everything. And yeah, people will get tired of me. 'Cause I'll be jamming program, okay? But that's something that we need to embed into our children and people that we care for, people that we love. and when you repeat certain things over and over, it will start penetrating into people's head, and they're going to recognize, why does this woman always talking about selfless? Listen, right now where I'm at, I am so goddamn happy. I'm not a rich person, but I am so happy. I have peace of mind.
That's the most important thing.
Yes, yes. There was a point, like when my husband go to work, if I'm coming, I was taking overtime and overtime because I didn't want to come home and have argument with my husband, unnecessary argument. I didn't want to do that. So like he would call me, I would come here, I'll be like, oh, it's busy here. And then one day he told me, he was like, I feel like you don't care for your children, you don't care for me. And I was like, now, is that like your insecurity talking? Why would you say something like that? But when he said it, it did hit home because I was doing that purposely. I just couldn't find a way to really have effective communication with him. But after that, I just let it go for like 2 weeks, and then I started working on myself, and I was able to literally sit with my husband and have a productive conversation, effective conversation with him without us arguing after that. We tried a couple times in the beginning, but before we conclude, we fighting again. It didn't make any sense. So
Anyway, Sister Joa, sorry, let me cut you in. I have to go. I have just a few more minutes
no,
left. I it's our topic today was honoring self. How do we do it? And Auntie Ya continued to say it's not easy. Because we have to know what we are honoring before. And until you honor yourself, you can't honor anybody. Yesterday, our talk here was what you don't have, you can't give. So until you honor yourself, you can't honor anybody at the same time, too. We sitting here talking or doing this here doesn't mean that is why we know too much. Because one of the comments I read last time, the person is kind of trying to say either we are trying to prove that is why we know too much or whatever. Way far from that. That's not what we mean. But then it has come to very, very light that there is a lot we all did not know then. And that is why we are all in this journey. So honor yourself first. To me, my simple way I'll put it is do you first.
Oh,
Sorry. I have them little boss. Do you first. If we find ourselves to do ourselves first, we will be on the way of honoring ourselves. We will be on our way of finding ourselves. And finding ourselves may open different doors for us to see different things that we did not know about ourselves first. We have to try to do that. Don't take it to be like we are sitting here talking because we think we know too much. No, far from that. We are all trying to voice us our opinion. Years back, should we have Facebook like this, which would have been saying those things for some of us to be listening to? I would say our lives would have been way, way better than the way it is now. Don't take it wrongly, but pick up something out of it and start a self journey. Honor yourself, love yourself, do you first before something else. I end here. Thank you so much for coming to
Thank you.
Canada, Elder One.
Thank you.
Auntie,
So in
Auntie,
conclusion, yes,
have
I
a
was going to
blessed
say,
weekend.
you too. Based on what Ama Joe just said, we don't owe anybody any apology per se,
that's
because if you come on
right. I'm
and
actually
you
behind. Why?
okay, if you come on and you feel that we are here talking because we think we know too much, that is not the point. There's people out there who need something, who can benefit from our experience. It's only people who do not want to learn, who may have opinions like that. But like I say, everybody has an opinion, and that's okay. But when we say honoring yourself, for me, I firmly believe that if you're a woman and you honor yourself, you'll be able to honor your own children and help them and nurture them. You won't be in a position where you feel so helpless that a man is the one taking care of the children. So if they are being abused, then they should be quiet. Maybe you yourself went through that, and so then that thing that your child is also going through is going to become generational, because we are not seeking help for our brokenness, and then we're all broken, and we are, it's of no benefit to anybody. So some of the cultural mindsets, like there's good things from our culture, but there's certain things too that we need to work on. It's important that we speak to the younger generation, especially the boys and the girls. If you are raising a son, teach him to care for himself, cook for himself, so that he does not end up with a woman because he doesn't like cooking. Then he ends up with somebody that he may not necessarily have wanted. Or don't teach your daughters to settle, that there's no good in them. They can't. You don't want to invest in their education. The best thing you can do for a daughter is to make her independent, so that when she goes into a relationship, she's able to bring herself and her contributions to the table and does not become a helpless woman. We don't want to encourage learned helplessness. It has gone on too long in our society. We need to rise up. We need to rise up. The ego situations with the men, everything being about the men, we have to change that dynamic. The relationship has to be mutual respect and love. Learn how to love your wife. Learn how to love your husbands. Learn how to love your children. So today we spoke about honoring ourselves. Take time out for yourself. Take time out. It is not selfish. You can only give what you have. You can only give what you have. So when you take care of yourself, you'll be able to take care of your wife, take care of your husband, take care of your children. So we've said a lot today. I thank you that you came on. Thank you, ladies, Ajo Odo, Pastor P, and Amajo. And for those of you who were with us, Miss Sage, maybe I'll miss some names. Anybody who came on tonight, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. We'll be continuing the same topic, but with a different segment. Take care. Bye-bye.